All right, guys, what's going on? So right now we are filming the part 2 segment for our 3 segment series on the breaking news that came this past week where we had an incident. We have a scenario here in the state of Maryland where 5 police officers have been indicted in 3 separate cases in Baltimore City. So by the Baltimore City State Attorney's Office. This is the office that laid down these indictments onto these 5 separate police officers. Now, we already filmed part 1. That one's up. We put that one out yesterday, and as you will recall, if you've seen that one, we talked about the 3 officers, the 3 police officers who were indicted, all as it relates to the first incident where there was an incident back in September of 2023 where they emptied a can of mace on this guy's face who they were apprehending, who they were arresting. They pulled him out of the vehicle. They drug him by his dreadlocks, his hair, across the ground. Very sort of disturbing incident. If you have not seen that video, part 1, make sure to go check that out. We break down that indictment very well and in depth, and we are going to do the same thing here with part 2 with this police officer and with a very different incident. This is a very different kind of incident today, but nonetheless, follow us as we cover these 3 different cases as it relates to these 5 police officers who have been indicted, again, in a very historical manner. I cannot think of any time where in 1 week you have 5 police officers indicted by one state's attorney's office. So again, these 5 indictments all come out of Baltimore City. The police officers that we covered in the last segment, they were indicted in Baltimore City, but they were Baltimore County police officers. The story that we're going to talk about today, this is a police deputy with the Baltimore City Police Department. So this officer is within the city jurisdiction, unlike the 3 previous we did in the last video. So again, there's the headline we've been sort of talking about. Again, 5 police officers indicted in 3 separate cases. We brought you case 1 in the last video as it relates to these 3 officers right here. And today we're going to be talking about case 2, which involves a police officer named Alexia Davis. Now, in researching Officer Alexia Davis and her indictment, we found a substantial amount of photographs of her. So I guess she is very big on the press, likes to have her picture taken. There she is right there. You can see we're going to hover over her. We're going to click through some pictures so you can see a good look at her. That is her right there. Pictures from, it looks like, the Baltimore Sun. You can see she's got kind of the trendy glasses on. She's got little butterfly tattoos is what it looks like. Tattoos of flowers. Pictures of her on the job, as you can see behind the police cruiser. Looks like here she is, Officer Alexia Davis, patrolling in what looks like maybe a convenience store, gas station type operation right here. So this is who we're working with today. I wanted to start with showing you the picture of this person because we did find a substantial amount of photographs of this police officer. At this point, she is 26 years of age. At least that is what we see when we pinch in on the state attorney's website. Again, this is exactly from the state attorney for Baltimore City's website. And we want to pinch in right here where it says, in the second case, Baltimore police officer Alexia Davis was indicted on misconduct in office. And again, we'll bring you all those charges. But this relates back to a June 17th, 2023 incident where Officer Davis was involved in a traffic collision while on duty and operating her patrol vehicle at the 4900 block of Sinclair Lane. Now, I've seen reports that this involved a motorcycle of some sort, but right now that seems to be unconfirmed. This is from the state attorney's office website, and it says that This is in relationship to her being on duty and operating her patrol vehicle at the 4900 block of Sinclair Lane. So when they say patrol vehicle, they're not talking about a motorcycle. They're talking about this right here. This is a patrol vehicle. She's driving her patrol vehicle right here. So again, this is from the Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office website. And one more little article that I want to show you guys before we dive into the indictment is right here. It looks like from a radio station. Yeah, right here. So according to the indictment, Officer Alexia Davis was charged after a June 2023 traffic collision while she was driving her patrol car. It reads that Davis crashed into a motorcyclist. So I think that's where the motorcycle comes in, is not that she was on a motorcycle. She was in her patrol vehicle and crashed into a motorcyclist who, as a result of the cyclist's injuries, had to have a leg amputated. Okay, so that is the allegation right there. Now, I want to be clear that we're about to get to the indictment. The indictment isn't so clear as to say what is reported in this article. It does not say that in the indictment, but as far as 88.1 FM Baltimore WYPF is concerned, evidently their sources have stated that this officer, Alexia Davis, age 26, on June 23rd, 2023, the crux is that while driving her patrol vehicle, crashed into a motorcyclist who had significant injuries and had to have a leg amputated. Amputated means off, gone, no more, sayonara. So that's awful, and that all took place allegedly at the 4900 block of Sinclair Lane. We're going to show you all that. But before we do that, let's head right to her indictment. As you can see right here, State of Maryland for Baltimore City, grand jury indictment right here, as you can see. And let's get into, yes, let me think here. There is 5 counts here, and let's just dive right into them. So the first the first charge, I should say, that she is hit with is misconduct in office. The second count is for reckless driving. Third count, negligent driving. So I guess there's a difference. Reckless driving, negligent driving. I'd be curious to know what the difference is between those two charges. That's interesting. The fourth count she's charged with is failure to control speed to avoid a collision. And the fifth count, it's a traffic article, something to do with emergency vehicles. It's sort of vague. It's sort of a vague charge right there. I wonder, okay, here it is. Did drive an emergency vehicle without due regard for the safety of all persons against the peace, government, and dignity of the state. Okay, got it. So that essentially means, because usually sometimes they're self-explanatory, like negligent driving. Yes, that's, you know what that is, right? But what it's saying in count 5 is that she drove an emergency vehicle, that being her patrol car, the vehicle for the Baltimore City the Baltimore City Police Department, her patrol vehicle. She was driving it in a careless manner, and I guess that's a particular form of crime when you do it under official capacity, under official police vehicle. I guess that in and of itself is a charge and a crime. So that's interesting. We get to learn things, right, guys? And this indictment is signed by, I'm not sure who that is, but nonetheless, the state's attorney for the city of Baltimore. Not sure whose signature that is, actually. So again, those are the 5 counts right there: misconduct in office, reckless driving, negligent driving, failure to control speed to avoid a collision, and then the misuse of an emergency vehicle. And the last thing that I want to show you guys is this is Sinclair Lane right here in Baltimore. So this is where the collision allegedly took place right here. So we're going to go up and down this street right here. Remember, we have the address punched in right here, 4900 Sinclair Lane. So this is where it would have taken place, right around here. And we'll just, we'll drive down the street a little bit. We'll give you guys a little bit of a visual of where this incident allegedly took place. So we'll come down. We'll look to the buildings to the side. Again, we don't have the exact coordinates for where this crash allegedly took place, but along Sinclair Lane, and right now, as you can see, this is where it would have taken place, somewhere along this stretch right here. Right down this stretch is where she was driving this patrol vehicle, this Baltimore Police Department patrol vehicle. She subsequently, or the allegation is that she was driving careless, recklessly, and in an imprudent fashion, and struck a motorcyclist, and to the point where his leg had to be amputated. So obviously a very situation, and a very tragic situation as well. I mean, Alexia Davis, 26 years old, young woman, this is somebody we put in great trust, and this is seemingly somebody who very much so has impacted an innocent person's life. It's not fun to lose a leg. I can't speak from experience, but I can tell you right now, if it were you and me, we would not want to be losing a leg. So she could be in very deep trouble for this. I don't know off the top of my head what kind of penalty a charge like that would carry, but one would think that it would have to be relatively severe when the allegation is that you took somebody's leg off. Somebody had to have their leg amputated. So again, guys, as you can see, 26-year-old Alexia Davis of the Baltimore City Police Department, charged, indicted for 5 counts related to an incident in June of 2023 where she allegedly was being negligent on duty in a patrol vehicle on the 4900 block of Sinclair Lane in Baltimore City. And because of that negligence, very much impacted a innocent human being's life, is what the allegation is. So with that, guys, again, if you haven't seen the first part, the first segment that we did on the 3 other officers, make sure to check that out. We go over that indictment in great detail as well. And also make sure to stick around when we cover the 3rd case. We'll be covering the 3rd case very soon here. Let's get to that right here. The 3rd and final case of Detective June Hall, who was also indicted on some theft charges. Hang around because we are going to go over his indictment as well in a subsequent video to this one. So with that, guys, that is the case surrounding the now indicted 26-year-old female deputy Alexia Davis in Baltimore City. We will catch you guys soon. Stick around for part 3, and thanks for watching this video. Catch you soon.